I mean, there's so much demand in the state for sex that it just creates a lucrative opportunity for somebody to exploit others.
When it comes to human trafficking in our city, uh, how bad is it?
It's an extensive problem. Um, there's so much of it that is unknown because not it's done behind closed doors. So the level of or the volume of how much it is, how much there is out there is still to be determined.
In your professional opinion, can it be stopped in our city?
I don't believe it can ever be stopped because there's always going to be a demand for the services that the victims are forced to engage in. So there will always be a demand side to it, but we can definitely get things in place that minimize the volume of it.
Um, Nobody goes out and say, "Hey, I want to be human trafficked." So,
No,
how does it start, and why does it start?
it starts from many different reasons or many different forms. Obviously, we've all seen the movie Taken, and that's a possibility, but that's very low on the likelihood of something like that happening, where your child's kidnapped and forced into the situation. Um, the most likely scenario is going to be juveniles who run away from home because they got in trouble for something or they want to go do something because their friends are doing something, and they ultimately meet the wrong person. And that person is a master manipulator. They know what to tell these kids and how to convince them to do something that they normally wouldn't do. Probably starts with, introducing them to drugs, getting them hooked on drugs, and then it's like, well, we need to pay for more drugs. Well, what can you do to pay for more drugs? Right? Well, you can go do this, and we can get some quick cash, and we can go get our drugs. Other situations are, um, a problem at home. They're running away from something at home, and they think they want to go do something, and they just come across and someone says, "Hey, I know a quick way to make some cash," and then it just kind of snowballs out of there. I mean, there's not a direct path of how they get from being a normal person at home to engaged in sex trafficking.
Um, why is Texas worse than other states? What contributes to the number of human trafficking in our city?
I would say the size of Texas, the population of Texas just equates to more cases of trafficking taking place. It's quick access corridor, I-35, I-20 corridors have for travel, um, and there's the demand. I mean, there's so much demand in the state for sex that it just creates a lucrative opportunity for somebody to exploit others.
What's your advice to parents about talking to their children about human trafficking and how real it is?
It's a difficult conversation for them to have, but definitely they need to be aware and involved in their kids' lives. Pay attention to who they're friends with. Pay attention to their social platforms, their online presence. I personally would say don't let your kids have social media, but I mean, in this day and age, that's the irrelevant expectation, and they're going to find a way to get on. If you say no, you can't have a cell phone, they're going to find a way to get a cell phone. And so, just probably just being more engaged and listen to your kids and ask questions.
Yeah, for you and your officers, can you tell me what it feels like to rescue a child that has been taken advantage of? Take me to a moment where you rescued somebody. What does that feel like?
It's heartbreaking, and it's rewarding to know that we've recovered this kid, but we know it's not a rescue because the likelihood of this kid running back to what they were running from and got caught up in is highly likely, and we see it day in, day out. Re, we recover the same kids over and over. We get reports on the same kids over and over. And the satisfaction we get is when we get to that point where we can identify this kid and we get them to trust us, and they call us in the middle of the night to see if we're even listening to the phone, because we'll tell them that we're there for them whenever they need us. And when they call to check and make sure we're going to listen, we've earned a little bit of trust with that kid. That opens the door for that kid to start down the path of recovery. And when that happens, it's very emotional.
Why did you get in this unit?
It was kind of by mistake. I was a patrol corporal, and I was ready to get out of patrol, do something different, and there was a detective opening for human trafficking that had opened up within our major crimes unit. And I honestly looked at it as an opportunity to get my foot in the door with major case to work those investigations. And at that time, in 2016, there was only one detective in the city assigned to human trafficking. And I was luckily enough selected for that position. And once I started investigating the cases, working with the community, understanding what these victims are going through and the trauma that they go through, it just felt like it was what was necessary for me to do.
Personally, what is your message to somebody who is in a situation, they want out, don't know how to get out, but there's units like yours out there to help rescue? What is your message to the victims?
Don't listen to what your trafficker's telling you, because we're not going to arrest you. We're not the bad guy. We're here to help you and get you into services and get you to a place of peace and restoration where you can do something with your life and be free of what you're going through. You have to trust the police. Reach out to us, get an opportunity, leave notes, tell somebody, hey, I'm in this situation, I need help, and we'll come help you.
What's the best way to reach out to you guys?
There's multiple different ways. Obviously, if it's an emergency situation and you have the ability to call 911, that's going to get a patrol response who would then get in touch with us. My guys, we're not the ones who do the dynamic entry, go in, kicking doors and rescuing, pulling you out. We have units out there for that. We come in and we address the needs of the victims at that point in time. So the immediate response is to call 911. If you're in that situation or you see that situation and it's an active situation, call 911. If you see something and you suspect it could be trafficking, you can call the non-emergency phone number, or you can even call the National Trafficking Hotline.
Brian, what's the message to traffickers, people who are out there looking for victims? What is your message as part of your unit? What is your message to them that are willing to take advantage of people like this?
You think you can get away with it and you think you can hide, but we know who you are and we are going to find you and we will put you in jail.